I hate the budget. Excuse me, Michael, these go to you? I don't need this.
Nice, thank you.
Who are you? Soggy. I step on the wall and I sink. Would you like some? Oh, you got some. Good, then this is all mine. Chili? I'm sweating. Just like sweating.
Councilman Galina? Councilman Novak? Moore? Be introduced tonight.
Change. I don't know.
Mayor and attorney?
Sent it yet.
Attorney?
What is this? Oh, that's right, it said you can. It's really not. Is that the one, right?
Is it 7 o'clock? Okay. Are we, Becky, are we ready? Becky? Okay, good evening, everyone. Would everyone please rise for a short prayer and a salute to our flag? Almighty God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Terry, notice of publication.
Yes, Mayor, take notice that this regular meeting of the Bayonne Borough Council being held on this 11th day of March 2019 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Buchanan.
Here.
Delina.
Here.
Enriquez.
Here.
Kilpatrick.
Here.
McGill. Novak.
Here.
At this time, we're going to have the approval of the prior minutes of the mayor and council. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the following minutes be approved, subject to correction. The February 6, 2019 receipt of bids, February 25th, 2019 special meeting budget workshop, and the February 25th, 2019 regular and agenda session.
Your motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
With that, we have a very special proclamation for a very dear friend I know of mine, and I believe the governing body and all who are here and those at home in the borough, Chip Blaza. So I am going to come forward. I'm going to ask the council to come to the railing. And I'm going to ask Chip's grandchildren to come on up. Let me have them both. All right, you get the first one. You get the second one. And I need a box of Kleenex
Oh, no,
for Sharon.
right there.
You want to give these to Grandma? Give those to her. All right, so who's going to start the reading? All right, what's your sister's name? Marisa. Marissa. All right. You guys want to get on each side of me? It might work out better that way. Okay. It's a big proclamation. So, remember, everything begins whereas, and when we're all done, we say therefore. So, let's start this. You ready? Whereas, go ahead and say that.
Whereas
Charles Chip Blaza
Charles Chip Blaza
was born June 6, when the hell was Chip? 1954.
1954.
To Charles and Maureen, can you say that?
Right.
In Newark, New Jersey,
In Newark, New Jersey.
and he has one sister, Cindy.
And he has one sister, Cindy.
All right, now it's your brother's turn. All right, wait, don't go. Okay,
Whereas
Chip was married to
Chip was married to
the love of his life,
the love of his life,
Sharon Nagy.
Sharon
That's
Nagy.
your grandmother.
Yeah, I know.
For 45 years.
For 45 years.
And they had two wonderful children,
And they had two wonderful children,
your dad
my
and
dad
your Uncle Michael.
and my Uncle Michael.
Together they had two grandchildren.
Together they had two grandchildren,
Who were they?
Mason, Michael, and Marissa Riley.
There you go. All right. Now it's your sister's turn. You ready? You gotta bring the mic up. You'll never get a job in Las Vegas. Come on. Bring the mic up to your mouth, sweetheart. Whereas Chip was
Whereas Chip was
a U.S. Navy veteran,
a U.S.
Navy.
Navy and
He was in the Navy. Say, Grandpa was in the Navy,
Grandpa was in the Navy,
in the Vietnam War,
in the Vietnam War,
and he was a member of the South Amboy
and he was a member of the South Amboy
Elks Club,
Elk Club,
and a member and sergeant at arms
and a member as Sergeant as Arbs
of the Breakfast Club for 10 years.
at the Breakfast Club for 10 years.
All right. Now it's your brother's turn. Whereas Chip lived in Saraville
Whereas Chip lived in
for
Saraville
over 40 years
for over 40 years
and was a police officer
and was a police officer
for 26 years,
for 26 years,
serving Saraville
serving Saraville
for 20 of those years
for 20 of those years
before retiring
in
in 2014.
In 2014.
Your sister's turn. All right, you got a long one there. You okay with that? Come on, you can do it. Whereas, remember I said everything begins with a whereas?
Whereas
All right. During his tenure
during his tenure
with the Saraville Police Department,
with his Saraville Police Department,
Chip became involved with
Chip became involved with
the DARE program.
the DARE program.
He was known as Officer Chip
He was known as Officer Chip
by his kids in the program.
by his kids in the program.
He had a special quality
He had a special quality
of really caring
of really caring
for the well-being
for the well-being
and making sure
and making sure
he would teach them
he would teach them
about
about
drug abuse
drug abuse
and awareness.
and awareness.
He was always there for them,
He was always there for them,
even after his retirement.
even after his retirement.
Chip was a great pride in his kid. Chip took your great. Oh. Chip, I can't. It's a little hard for me to read. Chip took great pride
Chip took great pride
in his kids
in his kids
as they grew
as they grew
and had their own families.
and had their own families.
He had sincere concern.
He had sincere concern
A little hard, sweetheart. Bring the mic up closer to your mouth. Not in your mouth, but closer. For them in the ongoing drug epidemic.
for them in the ongoing
Drug
epidemic.
epidemic. Okay? All right, now it's your brother's turn. All right, come on. Whereas Chip was also a member
Chip was also a member
of SAFE organization
of SAFE organization
and was appointed by the mayor and council,
and was
appointed
appointed by the mayor and
to
council
the Youth Guidance Council
to the Youth Guidance Council
and was a liaison,
and was the liaison
that's an easy word, liaison, there you go, to the Borough of Saraville's
to the Borough of Saraville's
Domestic Violence
domestic violence
Response Team,
as
as well as being
being
a member
a member
and past president of PBA
of PBA
Local 98.
Local 98.
All right. Next one is you. It's a short one, okay? All right. Whereas Chip was an avid golfer
Chip was an avid golfer
and hunter,
and hunter,
and he did each one with equal luck, and enjoyed his trips out west.
he did each one with equal luck, and he did his
He went
trip
out west
without.
with Daddy.
He went out west.
Okay? All right. Next one. All right. Right here.
Whereas
Chip was truly a devoted husband.
Chip was a
He loved your grandmother.
I know
I know.
Go ahead, you can say it. It's all right.
husband,
No. He was a devoted husband who loved your grandma,
a devoted husband, father, friend,
mentor
mentor
to hundreds of students
to hundreds of students
within the Borough of Saraville schools.
within the Borough of Saraville
All
schools.
right. I'm going to read the next part, okay? All right. Job well done, by the way. Your grandfather will be very proud of you. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kennedy O'Brien, Mayor of the Borough of Saraville, do hereby recognize the contribution that Charles Chip Blaza has made to the Borough of Saraville and has caused this proclamation to be issued and the official seal duly affixed this 11th day of March 2019 and the same duly attested by the municipal clerk. And with this, Sharon, Jason, come on up. Are you part of the family or you just a daughter? Come on. Sharon. Get in here with the kids. Come on, kids. Hold this for Grandma. All right, you're going to get your picture taken, so smile. Would you pass this down? Thank you. All right. The council would like to say a few words to you. Start with you, Tim.
I knew your grandfather and your husband and your father. I used to work at Raritan Landing Golf Course where he used to play a lot, and he was a very nice guy. And it was my dad was also friends with him. I think they grew up together in Fords. Did you grow up in Fords, if I'm correct, or Woodbridge Township, maybe? My dad was friends with him. They go way back, so you know it was. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. So sorry for you, I'm sorry.
You're going to do cleanup.
All right.
Because you're the council president.
Chip was, I always loved the fact that Chip always had a smile on his face. I know how much he loved his family, and the town, it lost somebody really important when he died, but we were very lucky to have him for so long. Thank you for letting us have you use your husband and everything.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to call him Officer Chip because that's how I knew him. Watching him go and work with the students in our schools every single day for as long as he had, whether he was there or just in a parade or the vehicle came, it was Officer Chip. You just knew it. You know, I look at that proclamation and to listen, what a great job you guys did. You know, we give a lot of proclamations up here, but you can definitely tell the testament of a person when the font is that tiny because there's that much to say about him. So to fit all that on one page was definitely a feat to do because that should probably be a book, not just a page. The DARE program will never be the same without him here. And when I think about him, I think about DARE not just as a, you know, a drug program, but kind of almost like a challenge out there. And I hope that our students that had the opportunity to work with him will dare to live their life as proudly and with as much integrity as Officer Chip did. So thank you so much for giving us to him for the time that we had him.
Thank you.
All right. I didn't know your father, your husband, very well. I did know him as Officer Chip myself. He will be sorely missed, and plenty was said already. I don't want to drag this on very long, but my condolences and very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So sorry for your loss. Seeing Chip around the kids lighting up was amazing. You knew he loved what he did. He must have enjoyed going to work. You see it on your side, but you just saw it on our side when he got around the kids or the DARE car driving it in our parades and how wonderful that car was and all the work he did to get that car to where it was. It's got to be a terrible time for your family right now. Words can't express our gratitude that from the borough and what he has meant to us and how he changed the DARE program. But like the other ones that have said up here, it's not going to be the same without him. It wasn't the same since he left, and our hearts are with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jason, you want to say? No, I'm fine. Thank you. I'll never make it. Thank you, though. I'll never make it. Thank you very much. I'll see you back. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Could I have a motion to receive and file the proclamation? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
At this point, we're going to go out of. All right, we're going to change it up a little bit again. If we can go through, we have nothing in old business,
Nothing in old business.
new business?
Under new business, we have the introduction of the following ordinances.
Yeah. We're going to go afterwards.
To Mayor left.
Open the public
on one second.
I'm sorry, introduction.
The mayor left, right?
The mayor did leave, yes.
Okay, so we have the introduction of following ordinances. Ordinance number 443-19, an ordinance to supplement and amend Chapter 6, Section 6, -4.1, alcoholic beverage control fees, and Chapter 2, Section 2.64, administration fees of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Saraville.
Danny, do you want me to?
I'm going to have Damon go through the first reading.
All right. Thank you, Dan. I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and public hearing to be held on March 25th, 2019.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Enriquez,
Yes.
Buchanan,
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Introduction of ordinance number 444-19, an ordinance supplementing and amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Saraville to amend Section 1.3G7 solar panels, etc. of the State Uniform Construction Code.
Councilman Delina?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and at a public hearing to be held on March 25th, 2019.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Delina?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
Novak?
Yes.
Introduction of ordinance number 445-19, an ordinance supplementing and amending Chapter 13 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Sayreville to amend Section 13-4.3, receptacle for municipal solid waste and recycling, and Chapter 2-64.23, miscellaneous fees.
Thank you. I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on March 25th, 2019.
Second.
I'm so sorry, but that was put under the wrong committee.
Take it anyway.
Sorry.
Is that all right that I introduce it, Mary? Mary?
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh. Who seconded that motion? I'm sorry. I got distracted there.
Vicky?
Thank you. Councilpersons Buchanan?
Yes.
Delina?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
And Novak?
Yes.
Thank you. Introduction of ordinance number 446-19, bond ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance number 264-14, heretofore finally adopted on June 23rd, 2014, entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for the Acquisition of Vehicles and Equipment in, by, and for the Borough of Sayreville, New Jersey, appropriating $1,680,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,600,000 bonds and notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation, to amend the description thereof.
Councilman Enriquez?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing be held on March 25th, 2019.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Enriquez?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Delina?
Yes.
Kilpatrick? Yes. Novak?
Yes.
That's what we have.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to open the public portion to the consent agenda resolutions only. If there's anyone that has a question or comment regarding consent agenda resolutions only, please step forward. No comments, please entertain a motion.
I move the consent agenda be approved, the public session be closed and the consent agenda resolutions be approved on.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Novak?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Delina?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Okay. No resolutions we can pull. CFO's report?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Engineers report? Attorneys report?
No report, Mayor.
Okay, at this point, I am going to open the public portion for any and all comments or concerns. Anyone from the public wish to speak? Please step forward and state your name and address, please.
Steve Melineski, 28 Scarlet Drive in Parlin. Two things. One, I've commended before the work of the road crew, clearing the snow, getting prepared for the snow. I think that's been great and want to call them out for that. However, there is an issue I see going on in the town. I think we brought it up before. A lot of the holes, the potholes that we have in the town, on the local streets especially, they're being filled in with gravel, asphalt gravel. Last 2 or 3 days, they're back. It's horrendous. You can't even get away from it. I think there's got to be some kind of process, and my father-in-law used to work in the city repairing streets, putting in tar, putting in the gravel, tamping it down, sealing it with tar. We've got to do something better than this because you can't even get down a road. So, you know, if we can, Mary, look at that to see if there's some way we can do something better, patent it down. Because even going up Glen Court where we are, the hole was there, they filled it, it's back.
They were out today putting in cold patch just to temporarily fix some of these things. When the weather gets a little warmer, we get what's called hot patch, and then we cut out, clean out, and put the hot patch down. Right now, the only thing that we really have available is the cold patch, but we can't wait for the hot patch because some of these are ruining people's front ends. So this is a real temporary.
I mean,
But
people
as
are
soon
gonna,
as we get the hot patch, that's what we do. We cut them out so they're more even, we clean them out well, and then we put the hot patch in.
okay, then that's a good solution because like even going up our block to Deerfield.
Oh, believe me,
it's
I thought I was gonna, I lost 3 fillings just driving over the
3
streets.
fillings, 1 tire.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another issue, and I don't know if it's appropriate at this meeting, but I want to thank Dan and Mike for getting me the performer from the group on the COA. I've gone through it. There's some issues that I see. I've been in contact with, and thank you for getting me in contact with John Barry from the firm. And I think there are some issues, I don't want to belabor it at this meeting, but there are some real issues that I see buried in there that we really need to expand. The report is much more detailed than the previous one, but we're going from a swing from $3.3 million deficit per year to a surplus. And the way the formula is being written, it's not totally wrong, but it's taking a fixed pro rata expense per head, not expense, I'm sorry, revenue per head, and using it flatly. So the only revenue coming in the pro forma is the additional taxes and revenue from the new homes. That sounds great, except there's almost 10% more in population and 450 more children. Now, in one of our sessions, I think it was Vicky called out that we had no excess capacity. That doesn't account for any additional infrastructures to be put in place, whether it be police, fire, or you can go down the laundry list of it. So that's one issue. The second issue is there's no additional expenses in the pro forma. So one of the things I discussed with John Barry was there a capacity study done? In any good pro forma or plan, you need to know how much capacity you have. If right now 450 children came into our school system, how many more teachers, this, that, the other thing would you need? How many more police, sanitation? The list goes on and on. The point is 10% more population, almost 10% more children. How do you account for that? And we can't be running a surplus. It's impossible. And they are right. There was no call to do a capacity planning, but I'm putting it before the council that we have to have some idea of what are we going to need. It doesn't take into account the variables such as the temple, traffic, or anything else, the warehouse that we're contemplating.
You know, and if I might, Steve, maybe, I didn't realize you spoke to Mr. Barry. Maybe tomorrow we can set up a meeting, you, myself, and Mr. Barry, just to go over some of your concerns, so that I can understand them, because I know that you and I have talked on a frequent basis. So maybe tomorrow, if you could call me or call my office, we'll set up an appointment.
Sure. I mean, I just want to make sure the council's aware that they did a great job, but there are other variables that need to be included. And it sounds like to me from what John said, John Barry that is, that it was outside the scope. So if you have no capacity, it's going to be an issue.
Vicki, doesn't the Board of Education, didn't they make a blue ribbon committee to study
Yeah.
that? Maybe somehow Mr. Berry could get in touch with them, because that's what they're looking at, what their needs are going to be in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has to happen, for everything to really be looked at from Mr. Berry's perspective, I don't know what kind of a dialogue he's had with the Board of Education. The Blue Ribbon Committee, which has been formed and then closed and then formed and then closed, on and off, the school would be able to better answer probably some of those questions. So it becomes, maybe you have to go to another meeting. But,
No, that's okay.
it was interesting when Kevin Sayak ran for Board of Education, he put out on Facebook, this, I don't know what you want to call it. It was like a Facebook Live thing. And, I work in the school. Everybody knows that. I know what the middle school and the high school capacity looks like. From an elementary school perspective, the UES perspective, those numbers are a little bit, they change depending on the building you're in. But I believe one of the statements that Mr. Sayak made at one point was that some of the buildings had reached capacity and others may not have. And if you go back and you look at the Board of Education, look through their minutes, you'll actually turn around and see the population of students where it rises and falls. I'm sure Mr. Berry maybe does not have that information.
Right, and there's one more thing in reference to that. They're using a flat $9,800 per child without any consideration for the supplement from the state and the Fed. So you take that away, and I know Old Bridge is just losing $12 million in funding. So I don't know how that affects us, but if you can't just say it's $9,800 a child and I'm ignoring what the state funds us now, because that's not the true cost. The true cost is what happens if you don't get funded or you have more children but the funding stays the same. So I know I'm kind of going on and on with this, but Michael.
But you know what, if you reach out for my office tomorrow, you and I
Absolutely.
will set up a meeting with John.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, sir, come on up.
Roseanne?
Or Ruth Ann, come up first. Ladies first.
Thank you. I'm here once again.
Say your name, please.
Oh, Ruth Ann Mahoney, 2 Gerard Place, Parlin, New Jersey. Once again, I'm here because of Washington Road, Ernston Road, ShopRite, Chase Bank. As I spoke 2 weeks ago, a half an hour after we went home, there was a horrible accident there. I walked today. I almost got hit. And I'm very aware of my surroundings and crossing. I was in the crosswalk. I almost got hit. I've called the police department. They claim, and I support the police 100% most of the time, that they've spoken to council, they've spoken to Mr. Frankel. It's been indicated otherwise from the council. I don't know. What can we do? What can I do? But something has to start to be done. The officer indicated this has been one of his highest complaint areas. They're working on a report, supposedly since September. I think it's March now. I think that's been sufficient time. I'm disgusted. I'm upset, and I'm afraid for the citizens of Sayreville and other towns. And we're talking walking. The last Tuesday, there was an incident, somebody almost went through a red light, and the man was rear-ended Tuesday evening. Now that's how many more things that certainly I'm not aware of have occurred. I mean, is it going to take a death, which we've almost already had? So that's my statement for this evening. If anybody has an idea, please let me know, or what I should do.
Did you get any update from Sergeant Brown?
I had a meeting with Sergeant Braille and the chief on Thursday. They were still finishing the report. They were looking at a couple of aspects of how people cross and where they cross. You can't force someone not to cross at a certain place, but you know from the park directly to where the parking lot from ShopRite comes out, that's dangerous. Trying to get more signs of maybe making them cross further down or crossing at the crosswalk. The other thing they wanted to do is use, what do we call them? Not the people who cross
The crossing guards.
the crossing guards to maybe move and generate some of the monies from where they have to get to that, maybe have 2 crossing guards as a possibility.
There is?
No, there's not where the,
Well, there's no crossing
there's
guard
no
at
crossing guard
ShopRite.
at ShopRite,
There's
correct?
none there.
Well, there wouldn't be during 5 o'clock in the
Oh, no,
afternoon either,
no,
but
no.
but during school.
For school.
So we're still waiting for that. These are some of the suggestions that they're working on, and we're still waiting for that report, but they are working on it.
You know, it's not, I've tried to cross there. It's not, I mean, there is a crosswalk that goes from ShopRite over to the side where, and a lot of the buses will let off on this side, and the people have to cross over because they're parked in ShopRite parking lot. The lighting is so poor. If we could just figure out how to get some lighting there, or maybe just blinking lights, because the traffic is coming this way, 2 lanes are trying to get out of the ShopRite parking lot. But the lighting is awful in that area. You just can't see people.
Also, I thought as just regular person, that where they allow the permit parking on the side of North Ernston, move it back farther so you can see the pedestrian crossing. Because you can't see them, people coming out to go to that crosswalk. And today I was in a crosswalk.
Can't see that.
It can't, and I don't know if we also, or call speak to ShopRite people. The people don't stop at the ShopRite stop sign. 3 people go tonight.
at the same
Just tonight, right through.
One goes.
But anyway, it's a dangerous situation. All right, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ruth Ann.
Thank you.
Jim?
Thank you, Councilman Buchanan, members of the council. I would echo what Mrs. Mahoney said about the traffic there. You know, when James Robinson, 11 Burrell Square, thank you. When a number of us argued to not have 300 apartments there on Ernston Road, one of the reasons that we cited was traffic safety over there. So, and unfortunately, we all heard about what Mrs. Mahoney just talked about. But Councilwoman Novak, you brought up the issue of lights. And I remember a few years ago, some neighbors had called me. I went out there and there were 5 in that general area, 5 traffic lights, street lights that were out. And I called, at the time Steve Morgan was the CEO of JCP&L, and I called him, and within an hour he had folks out there, but 5 lights. Now how does that happen? What happens when a street light goes out? What's the mechanism for some borough official to report that? Do police note that in their rounds? I mean, this is something you can only notice at night, obviously, so.
When I find them, I call Dan, literally, and then he has to report, and
We have a
there are lot.
representative from JCP&L that we use. We give them the information, we give them the poll numbers, and they replace the lights.
But where do you get that information?
I get it from council people, residents, police, public works.
But do police
have something
routinely
in
report these
mechanism?
Yes,
incidents?
some of them do. They see a light
Some of them
out, they
do.
will check, yeah. If they see it, they do
Okay,
check,
well, and-
and they
We
report.
also have a reporting mechanism on our website to report out outages.
For citizens to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
We wanna know from a
I
borough
understand that, and
perspective,
as a
is there-
citizen, I've done that. But you know, we have folks that work at night that are out there, and it is a public safety matter. You know, years ago, when I was chairman of the planning board, we updated our standards for lighting, and it was as a result of when a woman in Piscataway, Gail Scholler, was abducted and killed from a parking lot that was dark. And that's also when John McCormick was the mayor, we increased the lighting at Kennedy Park as a result of that. And so our standards were upgraded. I was at the farmer's market the other day on Route 9. I hadn't been there in years, but I was sent out on an errand. And it was incredibly dark there, dangerously dark. Now, I don't know how long it's been like that. I don't go there often. I like to eat, not to buy food. But something like that, what's the mechanism? Is that something that the police ought to be seeing and calling in and reporting?
Jim, I have a meeting with the chief on Thursday. I'll bring this up to him.
Okay.
Are you,
Keep it on the
may I
radar.
ask a question? Are you talking about the fact that the lights are not up to standard, or that there are lights blown out, like in parking lots, or both?
I believe that lights that were approved, that were part of the approval, I don't think those lights are still there.
Okay, so that would be something that the average person would not be aware of.
Yes.
You'd have to have somebody like
You're
a
right.
code enforcement
But
officer or something.
they certainly they wouldn't know what was approved, but they
Right.
certainly would know it's dark.
Okay.
And when you see something that's dark like that, that ought to be reported for the appropriate folks to take a
So
look.
that way somebody could go out and check
Yeah.
and see what it's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
okay, I thank you for your attention to that, but that's not what I came up for. What I came up for was to ask about my favorite topic, the 4 acres of prime property on North Ernston Road that are adjacent to Kennedy Park and were the subject of litigation, and hopefully will be purchased by the town. What's the status?
You know what, Mr. Robinson, in February, I had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Kaplan, Brett Kaplan, and advised him that we still needed the access agreement. He was in the process of trying to go find that access agreement. They've owned it for 34 years.
And who would that be between or among?
Well, it'd give us access to the property. I haven't seen.
No, but the existing one, would that be between Kaplan and the railroad, Kaplan
Could
and
be, I don't know.
Mako, Kaplan and,
It could be, I'm just looking for an access agreement so that I can get onto the property.
okay.
So I spoke to Mr. Kaplan, middle of February. He said, look, I need an access agreement, and the title search reflected that there's no access agreement. When I spoke to him, he had indicated that he's gonna have to go out and search his historical files and go find it. And so I haven't heard from him then.
Okay, and if that is not found, what's the recourse?
There, you know what, he thinks that they have it, so I'm not going to, give an estimate or a hypothetical.
But when was it brought to his attention that you need that?
We're back in December.
In December, and it's now March, and he thinks that they have it. And we know that he wants to sell that property.
We do.
So we know that he's motivated to do this, but he hasn't found it in all of those months. So what happens if he doesn't find it?
Well, again, I know that we've reached out to Mr. Kaplan again today. We didn't get a return phone call, so, hopefully I'll get an update the next day or two.
Okay, because I've seen deals that were negotiated in the past where things fall through the cracks, that property on Ernston Road that was supposed to be dedicated to the town that is now, condos are being built there because that fell through the crack, and a previous borough attorney gave the opinion that, well, if something happened a long time ago, it's unenforceable.
No, it's not, but again, we need
Which
access.
is interesting law.
We need access to the.
I know, I
property,
understand
so
that. That's
It's not
just-
like, I don't
I
want to buy,
understand.
I
That's
don't want
just-
to buy a piece of property that I don't have access to.
I absolutely understand that, and I wouldn't
And
want
I
you to
explained that
either.
to Mr.
I
Kaplan.
just, that's why I come every month and ask, because I want to make sure that this doesn't fall through the cracks.
No, we're on it.
Okay, thank you very much, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak?
I move the public portion be closed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, at this point in time, there's a need for executive session, and whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Sayreville, the public portion of this meeting is hereby adjourned in order that the governing body may meet in closed private session for approximately 15 minutes to discuss personnel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Um,
That's it?
So moved.
No, he's.
Now, following the conclusion of said closed session, the governing body shall reconvene the open portion of this public meeting to consider any other matters which may be properly brought before it this time. The nature and content of the discussion which occurs in closed session shall be made public at such time. As non-disclosure no longer exists, the resolution shall take effect immediately. It's my understanding also that there'll be no action after this exec.
Yeah, there won't be any more action at this, well, are we going into the agenda?
Yeah, I know, but that's a new
Yeah,
meeting.
it's a new meeting. So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll be about 15 minutes.
see you guys.
Thank you.
Take care, Steve.
Our Marie is doing well.
Yeah,
Thinking about her.
thank you. Practice better.
Are you speaking tonight? Huh? Are you speaking tonight?
No, meeting with my committee though.
Oh, are you?
We have that every Monday.
Yeah, forever.
For the commuters.
Yeah.
Oh, for the commuters.
Well, yeah. Good one.
Yeah, trying to get the buses to stay. Well, I think we have a good plan.
Do you?
Yeah, we're working really hard.
For Ken?
Yeah, they're working really hard.
They're the ones who cut their schedules.
They did, they kind of did it to themselves a little bit. We're gonna hopefully fix that.
Good.
Try to.
And I know you want them.
Very hard, always.
Good luck.
Thank you.
They want the All-American ones.
You're gonna keep a copy of these? Thank you. Okay, I have a motion?
Second.
That would be motion to reconvene. Okay, another motion?
Yep.
To adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Feel better, Mike. Bring it to agenda.
Do we have new agendas? Or are we okay with those?
Feel better, Mike.
It's fine.
Terry's gotta get set up yet. Ready? Called meeting to order. Everyone rise for salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Terry, statement of publication.
Session meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on the 11th day of March 2019 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Buchanan.
Here.
Lena. Enriquez.
Here.
Kilpatrick. McGill. Novak.
Yeah.
Let it be known that the mayor was here and left. He wasn't feeling well, as was the attorney, Mike Dupont. Old business. Anyone have any objections to the ordinances on the docket here? 443-19, 444-19, 445-19, or 446-19?
No.
Okay, communications and committees reports. Councilman Enriquez, please do administration and finance and rec at the same time.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Minutes and departmental reports, none. Applications received for bingo raffle licenses from the following organizations: Sayreville Auxiliary Police Association, Inc., to conduct an off-premise 50-50 on May 11, 2019, and on-premise straw or wheel game on May 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2019, at a carnival planned at Kennedy Park, Sayreville, RA:2260 and 2261.
Next item.
Covenant House, New Jersey, Inc., to conduct an on-premise 50-50 on May 5th, 2019, an event being held at Pure Event Center, Sayreville, RA:2262.
Next item.
All right. Received tax appeal from the following: Sioma Simantopov, covering block 209.04, lot 3.06, 17 Thompson's Place, Parlin.
Next item.
All right, request received from Snookers LLC, 960 Route 9 South, to have special conditions listed in paragraph P attached, modified on their liquor license.
Next item. We're going to refer to the...
We're going to, yes.
Thank you. Next item under rec.
Move right to rec on this. All right.
You're on the roll.
Yeah, minutes and departmental reports, none. Application for special event received from the following: carried from the February 25th, 2019 meeting. Darul Arkham School to conduct a prayer service on Tuesday, June 4th, 2019, from 9:30 to 1 p.m. in Kennedy Park, requesting that the $10,000 bond be waived. Review the reports in the packet.
Terry, this is the one that we were discussing and moving over to rec, the rec complex.
They did not agree to it. I told you they were at a standstill with me about moving or anything else. I know the business administrator had reached out to the school, and he...
Given an opportunity to go somewhere else. We've given them the opportunity.
You have given them the opportunity. The
We can either
opportunity was
approve it or
offered to
deny it
them.
at that point. We've given them an opportunity to choose a different location that's not going to be hindering.
That's very true, but this is a religious organization.
Understood, but we're giving them an opportunity to go somewhere else and still practice their religious beliefs.
It's entirely up to the governing body, however you want me to handle
What's
it.
the pleasure of the governing body?
I just don't see where the police chief recommended not, the Board of Education asked not to, because it's school day, and they use the Kennedy Park Department. I mean, if we can approve it, but there won't be any place for them to have the event. You can't tell the school not to use it on school day.
There was a meeting with the school and Public Works representatives and police representatives. The police felt that they could park in whatever was available inside the park and also park any availability on Ernston Road. And the Public Works was concerned about garbage pickup and what they would needed to do, and they agreed to spend an extra hour of overtime and pay for that. So after that meeting, there didn't seem to be any objections in that meeting from the police or from the Public Works.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah, I didn't have that information. Okay, I'm going on the information we have in the packet, which is not too many people approved of it. But if you're saying that they had a meeting and everybody.
Did we get a follow-up report from the police chief or the sergeant in charge?
We did not get a
didn't.
follow-up report
Right.
yet, but I just wanted to let you know about the meeting that took place.
Right.
Okay.
And it was Jerry us concern also because he's got mommy and me school, daycare school down there too, that takes up an abundance of parking and parents in and out. And the tennis courts are also being used. Those were Jerry, our recreation director's concerns.
Yeah. Well, I'm concerned about the preschool
Students
too.
and the preschool, mm-hmm. He did bring that out too, bring that up.
What's the pleasure?
But
Councilman?
if they all got together and said they think they can work it out, then.
If our department had say yes,
Well, if
I
they
have no
work it out, let's,
objection to
I
it,
want
as long as our department head said yes.
I would like to see the reports before we approve anything. This is not until June.
Still time.
We still have time.
Okay.
So I would like to table this until we get the reports and information from the other departments. Next item?
All right. Okay, received the following request from Sayreville Police Auxiliary, application for a special event permit to hold a carnival on May 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2019 at Kennedy Park. Request for the use of the borough stage and that all fees be waived for the stage and those associated with the carnival.
Any objection? Next item?
Permission to conduct a fireworks display on May 10th, 2019, and that all fees be waived associated with the fireworks display, rain date May 11, 2019.
Any objection?
No,
Next item?
that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Move over to planning and zoning. Councilman.
I'm sorry, Dan. Yes, I do have, just some information from the rec department, from Jerry Hust. Registration for the Spring Mommy and Me at the rec center and Little Kids Playtime at Kennedy Park is ongoing. Please register at sayreville.com. Call rec office for information at 732-390-7096. Also, the Easter egg hunt will be Saturday, April 13th at 10 a.m. sharp at the Borough Hall football field. The free event is open to all Sayreville residents between the ages of 1 and 10. Also, bus trips to Yankee Stadium on sale March 13th at SayrevilleRec.com. It will be June 21st, June 19th, and August 16th. All trips are Friday nights with the bus leaving the rec center at 4 p.m. Bus trip tickets, bus trip ticket prices are $100 each. Tickets sold the first come, first served basis. Seats are located in section 129, lower level infield. Price includes ticket to the game, bus, parking, and driver tip. And that is it.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilman Delina? Planning and zoning.
Minutes, I have none, no minutes to reports. Notice to adjacent municipality property owners, numbers 1 through 3. Receive and file those.
Second?
Other than that, progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Public Works, Councilwoman Novak.
Progress.
Well, that was quick. In Water and Sewer, Councilwoman Kilpatrick.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little excited. I just got news that my brother and my sister-in-law are at the hospital awaiting the birth of their first baby.
Oh, congratulations.
I want to do this quick. Our water just broke, and I get to do water and sewer, so here we go.
Just focus on
No minutes or departmental reports for today. However, I do have a notice of retirement. Oh, it's always sad when I have to do these because we have really some stellar employees that have been with us for a long time. So I have a notice of retirement received from Mary Ann Downs from her position as the Supervisor Billing and Collections in Water and Sewer Department effective April 1st, 2019. As you guys know, I did just come on as the council liaison to Water and Sewer only a few months ago. However, and a couple of the ladies are here. What an impressive group of people that we have over there. And Mary Ann Downs is obviously falls into that same situation. There's never an easy way to fulfill the shoes of somebody that's been there for quite a while. I'm not certain how many years Mary Ann has been there, but she will be greatly missed, I know, by everybody. So I thank her for her service and her time working in water and sewer. So that I ask to be received and filed. And outside of that, I have no committee reports. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you. Under my report, Notice of retirement received from Sergeant Kenneth Davern from his position in the Saraville Police Department effective March 1st, 2019. Receive and file.
Second.
And that's all I have. We'll go over, I have nothing for the mayor. Business Administrator's report.
Authorization to call for a certified list of eligible from the Department of Personnel for police lieutenants.
Any objection? Next item.
Update on EMS RFP. There's been some comments that have been made by some of the council people. Do you want to discuss this in this session or whenever?
Well, we do need that discussion.
Well, I still,
I did not get it.
So some of the council still haven't even received
can you
it.
forward
The council, it was sent to the
the water,
the liaison, and it was sent to the presidents of both squads and to the chief of police for their comments.
have you gotten all those comments back from?
I have gotten comments back from you, from the chief. I have not gotten comments back from each president of the squads.
I know Don is in Florida right now with his daughter. Our daughter's playing softball down in Florida. I had spoken briefly to Dexter, but I'll have them, urge them both to submit their comments, and then we can set up a meeting, maybe for the next council meeting.
We're going to try to do budget again at the next council meeting too? So,
Okay.
It'll be a busy one.
All right, we'll set up a meeting. We'll
Yeah.
get a meeting set up.
So what are the instructions you're asking for now?
I'm going to urge the two presidents to make comments as well as, what was that? Yeah, and then schedule a meeting with the parties.
So are you
We'll have my
scheduling?
subcommittee, the Public Safety Subcommittee, the two first aid chief, presidents, the chief of police, and dispatch.
So we'll wait to hear when the meeting is going to be then,
No, we'll
correct?
schedule it.
Now?
I'll get in contact with you. No, I will get in
Okay.
contact with you, and we'll work out a schedule with them to see what works before the next meeting.
And do you want the RFP to go out to the other council people?
Yes.
well, I would.
Wait, not until we have our meeting so that we can have the right direction for them.
Appointing of Jody Closet as supervisor billing and collections in the Water and Sewer Department effective April 1st, 2019.
Any objections?
Appointing Rosie Caramella to the title of Clerk 2 in the Water and Sewer Department effective April 1st, 2019. Did I screw up your name, Rosie? I apologize.
She want to look up.
Appointing Eddie Kern to the position of Labor 1 in the Water and Sewer Department effective April 1st, 2019.
Any objections?
Authorization to award a non-fair and open contract of the Crossman Avenue Pump Station Control Panel upgrade to Rayner Pump Systems Incorporated of Stanhope, New Jersey, in an amount not to exceed $23,445.
Any objections?
That's it.
CFO's report.
I have budget transfer resolution for next meeting. Right now, we're at 8.9 cents on this 2019 budget. I've gone about as far as I could go. I think we'll obviously have to have another meeting. What's the council's pleasure? Do you want to do the 5:30 again before on the 25th? Okay, please schedule it. Thank you. That's all I
Okay.
have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Engineers report.
Thank you, Mayor. One item, the Hercules Village Water and Sewer Project, we're looking to have a change order approved for additional traffic control that's required for the project. And speaking with Denise, there's not money available, so we'd have to amend the bond ordinance. So we'd ask that you introduce that at your next meeting.
Jay, we have that road closed. Why do we still have police there?
Can't answer
I
that.
said we have the road closed. Why do we still have police there?
The police are still blocking the road off. I know that there's officers. I've seen them as I drive by, like on Pershing, they're kind of.
Yeah, they're across, right, but we also have it blocked off.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they've had incidents of people driving around the.
We've raised that issue with the police, and the chief indicated he was going to look into it, but at this point, they still have the officers out there on a regular basis, and we do need to compensate them.
Now, this is monies, this is a project's not even close to being done yet.
They've got probably another month left. It is getting close to being done.
Okay.
Do they anticipate that this money will take them through the end of the project, or they think that might?
This should take it through the end of the project.
Okay, thank
All I
you.
have. Thank you.
No attorneys, so no report. At this point, I'll open up the public portion for any and all comments. Ruth Ann Mahoney. Come on down.
Thank you. Ruth Ann Mahoney, 2 Gerard Place, Parley, New Jersey. Comment on the June 4th issue for the Gerard School. I agree, bad idea. We already have a problem in that area with traffic and crossing. The students park at the high school. If you go to the park, there's no extra parking. The little children go to rec there. Are we going to inconvenience those parents? And the school, I don't know, I think they use the tennis courts after school, even though this says it's till 1 o'clock. But I think in reality, we all know it's not going to be over at 1 o'clock or cleared by 1 o'clock. And people are going to be coming in there. I don't like to assume, but assume that they're going to be there much before 9:30 when the kids are coming in to park. As you said, there's been other places offered. I think it's also a safety issue for the students and the people at the high school. We have many, many strangers coming into the town, mixing with the young children at the rec and mixing in with the high school students and their safety. I think it's a bad idea that they've been offered other things, and on paper, things look great, but the situation as it is there, as I've spoken earlier, I think it's a would be a worse situation. And if you could take my thoughts into consideration.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak from the public? If no other comments?
Motion be closed.
All in favor?
Motion to
Opposed?
adjourn.
Who made it? Moved it.
Mary and Damon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Mayor, yeah. He left before we voted on it, so you'll be signing his name.